Thank you for using e-notification. This video details information on how to add contacts, including landowners, timber owners, and fire emergency contacts to a notification using the e-notification site. Adding contacts may be done from the summary page or by locating the Contacts button located on your upper navigation bar. Once you have located the Contacts page, you may add landowners using a variety of options on the left-hand side of the screen. If you are the landowner for your notification and provided your contact information when you registered or on a previous notification, select I am the landowner. Doing so will populate the current landowner's box with your contact information. This information will also be displayed on the summary page under the appropriate heading. If this is the case, you are finished with the adding landowners process. If you did not input your landowner information when you registered, you will not be able to classify yourself as a landowner until you do so. To add yourself as a landowner, navigate to your Name button on the top of the page. Scroll down to the Are You the Landowner section and fill in all of the appropriate information. Once finished, select Save. You may now add yourself as the landowner by selecting the I am the landowner button. This information will now be displayed both on the Contacts page and on the Summary page. To add an existing landowner, select the Search button displayed on your screen. Here you may type in the name and select Search, or use the arrows at the bottom of the page to locate the landowner you are looking for. Once you have located the appropriate landowner, select the Add to No App button. The landowner information will now be displayed both on the Contacts and Summary page. To add a new landowner, select the New Landowner button. This will take you to the Add a New Landowner page. Here, fill in all the appropriate information indicated by a red asterisk. Please note that it is important to fill out your landowner's email address if he or she has one. If you do not fill out this information, the landowner will not have access to the e-notification system and they will not receive email updates regarding notifications. Instead, they will receive all applicable information from ODF in the mail. Next, fill out the Contact Details section. Landowners must also fill out the bottom information on the left. Please note that both the ethnicity and gender fields are optional. If your landowner is also a timber owner, please also fill out the employee identification number or the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. Once finished, select the Add Landowner button. Your landowner has now been successfully saved, and his or her contact information will populate the current landowner's box on the Contacts page. If your notification requires a second landowner, please enter in their contact information after providing a first landowner. To do so, select from the landowner options on the left-hand side of the screen. Both landowners' contact information will now show on the Contacts page and on the Summary page of this notification. If you need to remove a landowner from a notification, you must do so from the Contacts page. To remove a landowner, locate the landowner you would like to remove and press the red Remove button. A prompt box will display. If you are sure you wish to remove this contact, select Yes. Their contact information has now been removed from this notification and will not display on the contact or summary page. After adding landowner information, you may now enter a timber owner for your notification. If you are the timber owner and provided your information when you registered or on a previous notification, select I am the timber owner. Doing so will enter in your contact information in the current timber owner box and on the summary page of this notification. If you are the timber owner for this notification but have not declared your information, you will not be able to add yourself as a timber owner until you do so. To enter in this information, select your name button from the options at the top of the screen. Here, locate the Are You the Timber Owner box. Timber owners are required to provide an employee identification number or the last 4 digits of the timber owner's Social Security number. Once you have input the appropriate information, select Save. You will now be able to add yourself as a timber owner by selecting I am the timber owner. To add an existing timber owner to a notification, select Search Timber Owners. This will take you to the timber owner search page where you may enter in and search for a timber owner's name or scroll through the list of options using the arrow buttons at the bottom of the screen. Once you have located the appropriate timber owner, select the Add to NoApp button. This will input the timber owner information on your contact page and on the summary page of this notification. Finally, you have the option to add a new timber owner to your notification. To do so, select the New Timber Owner button. This will take you to the Add a New Timber Owner page. Here, fill in all of the appropriate information indicated by the red asterisk. Again, it is important to enter in an email address for your timber owner if he or she has one. If you do not enter in this information, he or she will not have access to the e-notification system and will not receive email updates regarding notifications. Rather, they will receive paper copies of all applicable information from ODF in the mail. Next, enter in the timber owner's contact details. Timber owners must provide an employee identification number or the last 4 digits of their Social Security number. After you have entered in this information, select Add Timber Owner. Your timber owner information has now been saved and is displayed on your contacts page. You may also search for this timber owner in later notifications. To remove a timber owner, select the red Remove button on the current timber owner section of the page. This will present you with a prompt box asking if you are sure you want to remove this timber owner. If you are sure, select Yes. The timber owner has now been removed from this notification. Once you have entered in all of the appropriate landowner and timber owner information, you are required to provide a fire emergency contact. You have now finished filling out the contacts page of your notification. You may now select Save to save your current progress in your notification without advancing if you need to leave and return later. Or, if you are ready to continue with the notification, select the Go to Conditions button. This will take you to the following page of the notification. For additional instructions on how to continue with the notification process, please view the Adding Site Conditions and Documents video. Thank you.